right, hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the accursed, the alien, and forbidden. I'm your host, Miss Bumblebee, and today we're going to be doing mermaids. Back by popular demand. It's been a long time since we covered mermaids, and I couldn't even find the video that we covered last time. Last time we did like Fiji mermaids. It was so long ago. But before I get into that, I have some membership stuff to thank people for that popped in while we were running the intros and stuff. First of all, we have Lil gifting 5 memberships that went to, and I believe this is Lil on behalf of Kelly or in conjunction with Kelly. Went with Kelly, Detroit Atheist, went to Jen with 1 N, Carrie Ann, Trusty Ape, Pixie Storm, Sea Science Film Lab. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen Sea Science. That's a hardcore creationist person too. They're probably gonna be so thrilled to see that they got a gift membership to my channel. And then we have after those memberships, we have Ninjester, been a member for 13 months. That's 1 month longer than a full year, and 13 is a good lucky number. And they said for Kelly, because Kelly tried to gift memberships and YouTube didn't let it happen. I don't know what happened there. That's crazy. But then Ninjester went on to donate 10 Hive memberships. That's 10 more members of the Hive. That's wild. And they went to Aquila M. Flamius, Wolfos, Corey Starkiller, Brian Stevens, Clockwork Rex, Kiraj, and that can't be all of them, can it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did it run out of people to gift them to? Yeah, that's weird. It just like cut them off there because there should have been 4 more. What is your problem, YouTube? Wonky wonky. Got your money back, that's good. But yeah, we got memberships dishing out apparently, so yay. All right, so today we're mermaiding it up. Now there's a few ways I could approach the mermaid topic, right? There's like mermaid videos and mermaid sightings. We've done that. We've covered mermaid sightings before. There's Fiji mermaids and like mermaids that are made with by like taxidermy together with monkeys and sea life and stuff. We've done that. We've talked about Fiji mermaids. But did you know that mermaids are also, I don't know if y'all are familiar with this Starseed nonsense. That, oh yeah, we're all spiritually connected to all these intergalactic entities and stuff. Mermaids apparently have their own Starseed lore, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's how we're doing it. So I went to this channel, which we did when we talked, I think it was when we talked about the Laren, the cat people. That we went to this channel. It's Astral Legends TV. And they bring you captivating information of cosmic history and ancient history, drawing from religions, world mythologies, esoteric legends, and forbidden knowledge of ancient civilizations. We encourage you to exercise discernment and conduct your own research into these complex topics. Additionally, the content and sources provided may not fully reflect the views of the channel, as the primary commitment is to serve all with love under the guidance of the creator. Our episode is powered by both human intelligence, spiritual will and skill, and a sprinkle of artificial intelligence. Oh no. Oh no. No artificial intelligence. And they're on Rumble too, because of course they are. I wonder if they got more controversial stuff on Rumble. Like maybe they have like some eugenicsy stuff out there. I don't know. When somebody has a Rumble account, it always says to me is that they're producing something they don't want, or that they're afraid YouTube's not going to allow them to show. So it's like a backup. Because Rumble, I mean, what else could you call it besides a backup? Watch me end up on Rumble someday, and I'll be like, replay this and be like, oh look, I just done Rumble and now I'm on it. Sounds like we need to grow the Hive. The Hive is growing every day. We are just on the cusp of 1,400. By the way, I need like 4 more subscribers to have 1,400. Not saying not any pressure or anything. Just letting the world know. Which scientific publication do I look into search for star seeds? Star seeds are usually found inside star fruit on Jur. Inside the star fruit, you'll find the star seeds. But let's go down through here and look at these real quick before we get into the video. This is the one we're doing. It's like it just came out 12 days ago. I'm like, it's serendipity. We have to do this. They got like insectoid stuff. They got canine aliens. We put that on put those good boy aliens on the list. Now, I will say though, when we went to do their Lyran cat people video, we learned a lot about the half the video was about the Draconians, which are like the lizard people, and then there's also a segment about bird people that lived with the Lyran, with the cat people. So it got really convoluted trying to keep up with it all, and this is just going to expand on it even more. So if you need to get like a notepad out and take notes on where's my pen, take notes on our starseed information, you go right ahead and keep a starseed. It'll be like a starseed Bible that we pass down to future generations, right? But the vampire aliens that came out around Halloween, of course. A lot of blue creatures. It's kind of like the X-Men. X-Men, every time that somebody would get like a superpower or something, upgrade, they would turn blue. Like Beast turned blue when he took the serum to try to cure his physical deformities. He turned blue when Archangel was upgraded by Apocalypse. He turned blue. Of course, Nightcrawler and Mystique were already blue, but yeah, look at blue, 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 kind of blue, blue, blue. So many blue people. A Draco warship, though. That's got to be lit. What else do we got here? Yeah, you get the Anunnaki. Get Greys. The basic alien stuff, but then all the weird stuff, too. There's the Lyran Draco War, which we covered in some detail. More detail than I wanted to. Yeah, Anunnaki. All right, let's get into the mermaids, because they do have videos about mermaids. This is our host. This it's almost like a VTuber type thing. I think it's AI voiced. So I'm blue, da ba dee ba ba die, ba dee da ba da ba dee da ba die. Oh wow! Ah! Kelly, thank you so much. Kelly, the Detroit atheist queen, didn't want to gift membership, so here's a super chat. Love you, Bumblebee and the Hive, fangirls and boys. Thank you so much. Yes, can I like that? How come I can't like it? I can like, oh yeah, I can do it over here. There we go. It wasn't letting me do it in my OBS, but that's fine. It doesn't need to let me do it in the OBS. I always keep it open in the YouTube as well, because the stuff comes in faster. This is our host. He's wearing some styling rings. Should I put some styling rings on too? They don't really match my gloves though. That's all right. Because yeah, it's red. I don't know. Red and purple don't look terrible together. I'll put my rings on now to match energies with our alien. Where's my rose? There it is. Okay. All right. Got all my rings on. All right, let's go, bro.
Did you know mermaids aren't just legend or myth? They're real, and their roots reach beyond Earth. Their story ties back to ancient extraterrestrials, to Atlantis, and to the interdimensional
Ancient extraterrestrials, Atlantis, and what's he gonna say? Interdimensional?
Gateways they once protected beneath the waves.
Interdimensional gateways at the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. I told Stool about this last night. I did. I told Stool, I said I'm covering, when I was in Ben's chat, I said I'm covering mermaids in the morning. It's not even morning over there, it's afternoon, but maybe he's still sleeping, I don't know. Where are you, Stool?
And if you've always felt an unshakable pull toward the water, it may be a clue to mermaid ancestry in your own blood.
I have mermaid. It's true. That proves it. I'm a mermaid. No questions. No questions. I will not hear any naysayers. Because I like to snorkel. I am a mermaid.
Greetings. I am Draloth, the Arcturian. Today on Astral Legend,
Draloth the Arcturian, and he's one of our blue boys. He's got some green eyes, though.
We turn our attention to the mermaids of Atlantis and the aquatic kingdoms that flourish in the hidden waters of Inner Earth. In the ages when harmony prevailed, two serpent reptilian queens brought forth Atlantean aquatic daughters. These were the mermaid priestesses of Atlantis. Feminine and a few masculine humanoid beings with aquatic bodies.
Feminine and a few masculine beings. This channel makes copious use of the AI. I've kind of peeled back almost everything on my channel that's AI generated at this point. I'm over it. And there may be a few things here and there, but I've been peeling them back piece by piece. It was fun when I started doing it because it was like, oh, here's stuff to make content for my channel for free, but it's just I'd rather put my own personal touch on it. I like doing the charcoal drawing thumbnails and stuff now instead. So yeah, but I can't be a hypocrite if I'm going to use AI, a whole bunch of AI myself. I probably shouldn't be being too cheeky to other people about it, but some of the AI is really cool. Don't get me wrong; it looks cool, and it helps them promote their nonsense. This is like low effort spirit science, turned up to 11. Because instead of just having the wandering space Jews as the spirit science presents them, it has a whole menagerie of intergalactic creatures, a smorgasbord of cat people and bug people and all sorts of weird stuff. But now mermaids, of course. Why not? And they live inside the hollow earth.
Bodies that still exist today. Atlantean mermaids and priestesses, sometimes called the Zephelium or Shrieky El, are beings that are part humanoid and then part aquatic amphibian. They are born with bodies that can slip between realms and dimensions. They live on average between 3,000 and 6,000 Earth years. There are two.
Man, I've only lived like 40 or so, and I'm over it. I couldn't imagine having to trudge through 6,000 years.
Two genders, male and female, though females greatly outnumber the males. Their bloodlines are pure amphibian, braided from the Nomo of Sirius and the Tiamat Draconians of the...
They're all bioluminescent too. I like that. I do like bioluminescence in mermaids. That's a thing we should lean into. Make them less human and more fishy, and give them bioluminescence.
Serpent Empire, yet over time they have become their own distinct race. The Atlantean mermaids of the aquatic kingdom. Their long flowing tails shimmer with iridescent scales that mirror the hues of the local seas, and their silver or golden eyes can peer deep into spiritual currents. Some priestesses wear hair like coral threads, drifting kelp, or liquid light shaped by the waters of their birth. They are exceptionally fast swimmers. Some bear multiple fins along a single tail, while others have one great fin, often a mark of hybrid heritage. Their voice...
Hybrid heritage. So you can have an eel tail. What kind of mermaid tails would you guys have? Let's do a poll. We're gonna start a poll. What type of mermaid tail do you have? And we're gonna do, okay, so we're gonna start with the basic fish tail, and then we'll do an eel tail, and then we'll do octopus, like Ursula, cephalopod, because you can do like a squid too. And then we can do one more. Let's do... y'all want to do like a lobster tail? We'll do a lobster tail. Yeah. So, you guys got to vote now and tell me what kind of tail you have. If you have a delicious lobster tail, I might eat it.
Carry harmonica.
Is Henry home? Okay.
Aquatic power, capable of calming storms, summoning tempests, or opening submerged interdimensional gateways. Atlantean mermaid priestesses are organized into 3 primary castes, each carrying a different aspect of the mother's legacy. Healers, singers, and emotional balancers.
They're like, oh yeah, by the way, they can control the weather. And they sing really good too. Yeah. How are we doing on the poll? It's already going. 62% of you all have fishtails. And the other 38% have cephalopod tails, which is not really a tail. It'd be like tentacles. I think I would go with so if I had the eel tail, would I have like electric powers? Be like more like a moray, huh? I think I'd have to go with the cephalopod tentacles, having like 8 arms. Could you imagine how much I would get done if I had 8 arms plus make a lot of money doing tentacle stuff.
They tend the feelings of the oceans themselves and the creatures within them, especially in the oldest ages of Earth. As guardians of deep gates, trench palaces, and primordial archives, they keep watch over ancient currents and sealed thresholds. Merida's radiant mermaid priest.
When they say sealed, do they mean covered with seals? Or I should have done seal tails or dolphin tails. Yeah, that's because they go different. Like, it's weird because mermaids kind of have a fishy tail, but it's always they swim in the undulating way that mammals do, because mammals and birds too, like penguins, swim like this, right? And fish and reptiles and amphibians swim like this, swim sideways. That's like the tail power. So Yeah, Scientist Mel is going to be on Ben's later, y'all. So I will eject everybody over there when this is up. As a matter of fact, if it's already scheduled, I can go ahead and put the redirect in. Let's see, Doctor. Oh, I got plenty of time to find it before it gets started.
Priestesses are said to dwell nearer the surface, where humans once glimpsed them and remembered them as sea queens, sirens, and river goddesses. Their light can resurrect coral reefs, purify poisoned waters, and awaken dormant life forms sleeping in the silt. Together, these castes uphold the Great Oceanic Order, a multi-dimensional network of aquatic realms, all linked across the stars by resonance and intention. The mermaid priestesses who descended from Tiamatun and
I think a tiger shark, but an octopus or jelly would be lit. I think being a jellyfish, you'd be kind of slow though. You'd be like... You'd be like, jellyfish don't seem very athletic to me. I feel like I'd be like, I'm coming, guys, and everybody just like jump into the waves with their fish and dolphin tails and stuff, and I'd be like, wait for me, wait. I just like, I think about like jellyfish are what sea turtles eat, right? It's what mola eat.
Merida carried an ancient grace that shaped the earliest memory of water on Earth. Their lineage, born from cosmic seas and carried through star-born migrations, wove itself quietly into the mythic consciousness of civilizations.
Y'all taking notes?
In the Mediterranean, the Greeks encountered shimmering emissaries from the Atlantean caste, mermaid priestesses who rose near coastal cliffs to warn sailors of shifting tides or dangerous currents. The Greeks, lacking words for
because they were so horny that they were like, no, the mermaids like, hey, get back, there's cliffs here, you're gonna wreck your ships. And the sailors were so friggin' horny, the Greek sailors, they're like, oh, I gotta get me some of that fussy. Would it be like fish? Yeah, fussy. Yeah, I gotta get some of that fussy. Or would it be like mermaid mussy? Or since they thought they would have thought they were sirens, can I get some of that sussy? I don't know. You tell me.
Dimensional beings with harmonics in their voices described them as sirens. Their songs were not meant to lure men to ruin. They were harmonic signals encoded with warnings, emotional calibration, or navigational correction. Early sailors, overwhelmed by frequencies shaped for water rather than air.
So cloaca, and then you could do like clussy, but clussy is also for clowns. Like, if you're into clowns, that's clussy. So cloaca. What would mermaids have cloacas? I think I almost want to say mermaids would do external fertilization. I don't know though. Like she would lay eggs and he'd come fertilize them.
Misinterpreted these encounters. Visionary experiences, overwhelming beauty, and sudden emotional clarity were reduced to stories of enchantresses on rocky shores. Powers among
the Greeks spread talking shit about mermaids is how we got the siren legends, right? That's where those legends come from, is the Greeks were like, hey, these hot chicks made me crash my boat. And when they were really saying, hey, don't come over here. You're clown curious. I am a clown. I just, Actually, that's one of my favorite characters to do is a clown.
These priestesses varied widely. Tide weavers controlled currents, temperature gradients, and the migration paths of sea creatures. These beings guard
This one
ancient
has legs, and then this one has a fishy tail. Do they do like Daryl Hannah did in Splash, and like when you get them wet, they grow a mermaid tail? H2O, that's another place where that happened. The show with the girls that turned into mermaids. My kids used to love that show. It's Australian too, which makes it a little different than your typical kids sitcom, like Disney style kids sitcom. The stakes are a little bit higher. That's what it reminds me of, though, like a crossover between like a iCarly type show and then like like the Xena and Hercules series and stuff like that. Yeah.
Underwater gates and can shift pressure, light, and density with a simple motion of their hands. Their voices carry patterns.
Then why they let all them ships crash? Eh?
Capable of stabilizing weather or shifting the emotional tone of an entire region. The Atlantean maidens of the Africa and Asia carry Merida's radiance, enabling them to purify polluted waters, resurrect damaged...
Miranda, he's not a rando, he's an Alturian. I don't know what that means, but he's one. I think it means he has ulterior motives.
Coral ecosystems and heal wounded hearts in grieving coastal communities. Their gifts flow from the cosmic covenant of water as memory and water as life. Even in silence, their presence calms storm.
I'm no ordinary girl. Yeah. The main thing I know that I remember about it is that the girl, one of the blonde girls, there was two blonde girls, but one of them went on to be on Vampire Diaries. So, and then she was on the originals too, the spin-off show.
And steadied the pulse of oceans. When Atlantis fell and the great oceanic grids fractured, their people faced thinning numbers, collapsing portals, and wounded seas. Human civilization, for all its chaos, continued to multiply on the surface. Interbreeding with humans became a quiet survival strategy, a way to preserve their life.
Ew, interspecies erotica. I didn't know that's what this was. No. That's what I know about H2O. I couldn't put my finger on it. Yeah. Yep, she was on the Vampire Diaries. I like H2O better than Vampire Diaries, though it's cheesy. H2O is so cheesy. But it has some nostalgia for me because it's like reminds me when my kids were little and they'd watch it. The Mermaid Show. Yeah, and I get the song stuck in my head. And I was at a time in my life when I spent a lot of time playing guitar too, so I think I learned how to play the song.
And ensure that the duties of the priestesses did not vanish with the ruins of Atlantis. Humans themselves carried something deeply familiar, a body and soul matrix already modified through Anunnaki engineering, attuned to both Earth and the stars. The mermaid priestesses recognize this compatibility not only on a biological level, but as a resonance across energy fields. By joining with humans, they could bring forth children capable of acting as living bridges, hybrids who belong to both land and sea, physical...
That's me. I want to get my H2O powers, and I'm going to jump in the ocean and just swim away. Go live with the great white sharks. I'm gonna hang out with freaking sharks and orcas and dolphins. I'm gonna go down into the midnight zone and see all the bioluminescent creatures.
Realm and subtle realm, oceanic grid and ancestral line. These offspring stabilized what Atlantis had once held together through temples and crystal technology. Mermaids were always beings of passage, moving between densities, slipping through portals that threaded the oceans to inner Earth and beyond. Humans, on the other hand, remained firmly anchored to the dense plane of matter.
That's our problem. We're so freaking dense. I always felt that way about humans. Hold on, I'm going to speed this up just a bit because this is a long video. And we're already almost half an hour into the show, or maybe a little over half an hour into the show. Let's see, it's 1.5, that seems reasonable.
A hybrid body form solved a practical problem. It allowed the priestess lineage to function within multiple dimensions without losing traction in the physical world. The children of such unions could stand in human cities and still hear the song of the deep trenches, could move through spiritual turbulence without losing their...
Do you hear the song of the deep trenches, my hive? Let me check in on my polls. Oh, suddenly we have at least one eel tail coming in here. I know that there's like 20 of y'all watching, and only 12 votes. I need more votes to find out. Nobody wants a lobster tail. Nobody wants to be delicious is the problem. Nobody wants to be eaten by Brie. I understand that. I would not want to be eaten by me, dipped in butter.
Footing and could quietly repair fractures in the planetary field while appearing outwardly human. Over time, this union was not only tactical. The priestesses, who feel emotion as currents in the water, became fascinated by the raw, unpredictable depth of human feeling. There is a kind of courage in humanity that does not always exist in older races.
That's how we got the Little Mermaid. That's explaining the plot to Little Mermaid. Why mermaid chicks are horny for dudes. Because they're mostly, I guess, because mermaids are mostly women. And as women, they're thirsty for sailor dudes, like Prince Eric. Yep, we're in Atlantis, Kristen.
A willingness to love fiercely under threat, to begin again after devastating loss, to cling to faith even when history repeats hardship. Some mermaids formed genuine bonds with human partners, drawn by that warmth and stubborn devotion. What began as a sacred strategy...
Also, the plot to Aquaman.
Grew into real unions, with genuine tenderness and loyalty woven through the old agreements. Layered through this is prophecy. Unfortunately, not all sea mermaids and mermen are benevolent due to some splitting to negative factions, and this should be well noted. Some beings, like the sirens, are a good example. Out on the old coasts, where fishermen...
Just a minute ago, you was running freaking apologetics for the sirens, saying, hey, no, the Greeks were talking shit. They were trying to tell them to stay away from the rocks, and now you're gonna be like, nah, the sirens was bitches. Okay.
Still swore by weather signs and salt-worn stories, people learned to tell sirens from mermaids the way they learned to read tides, by pattern. A siren carried a sameness that made seasoned sailors uneasy. Her eyes tended to match, red, slit-like, sharp as a warning flare in the dark water. Her tail followed that same uniform design, as if her kind were stamped from one mold. When her voice rose, it was never the same uniform design, slit-like, sharp as sameness that made seasoned sailors uneasy. Her eyes tended to match, red, slit-like, sharp as a warning flare in the dark water. Her tail followed that same uniform design, as if her kind...
Sirens were supposed to be hot too.
...were stamped from one mold. When her voice rose, it was never meant as comfort. The song drew men closer, closer, until the sea took them. In those waters, sirens also turned their hunger toward merfolk, hunting them with a cold, deliberate hatred. Mermaids, by contrast, looked like a people shaped by many coves and currents. Their eyes varied, round, narrow, bright, shadowed, each face carrying its own story. Their tails varied too.
That's Ariel. Ariel needed some fish scales, though, I think. I think that would have made her more convincing as a mermaid. What do you guys think? Little Mermaid could have used some scales. On other parts of her body, on her face and shoulders and arms. Just a light scaling. This looks alright.
Changing in fin shape and sweep like regional dress. Most of the time they drifted through their realm, curious or indifferent, and on certain nights they even helped sailors who were lost, tangled, or too proud to admit fear. Anyone paying attention...
Those are just like... Those stick-on glitter things.
Learned a practical rule. A singing presence near rocks meant danger, while a quiet watcher near a struggling boat might mean mercy, so long as the humans stayed respectful. In ancient times, the Atlantean priestesses guarded fragments of the Sapphire Throne, one of the 7 thrones that once formed the lattice of cosmic order.
Now, write this down, guys. We're talking about the Sapphire Throne now. The Sapphire Throne. Keep up.
Old oceanic records speak of a time when those thrones must resonate as one again so that the planetary field can be repaired. Hybrid bloodlines, carrying both the aquatic codes of the Dragon Queens and the terrestrial, Anunnaki-touched human template, are uniquely...
The terrestrial Anunnaki-touched template. These are just... Oh, man. This is, keep it up, guys. It's getting complex. Something about a Dragon Queen, I think. Yeah, the aquatic codes of the Dragon Queen and the terrestrial Anunnaki touched human template. Right.
Codes of the Dragon Queens and the terrestrial Anunnaki-touched human template are uniquely suited to act as keys for this future activation. Their existence prepares the way for a later age when the lattice can be restored through living beings rather than only through lost Atlantean technology. Beyond survival and prophecy, there was the simple need to guide humanity during an age of amnesia. Once Atlantis sank, most humans forgot their agreements, their star kin, and the true purpose of Earth's oceans. By weaving their essence into human bloodlines, the mermaid priestesses ensured that some souls would be born with strange affinities for water, uncanny empathy, prophetic dreams of the sea, and a natural instinct to protect rivers, lakes, and coastlines. These mere-blooded descendants became quiet guardians, singers, healers, divers, keepers of forgotten coastal shrines, who acted from instinct without...
If you're any of those things, you're a mermaid. Just letting you know, if you're a singer, if you're a diver, if you're a treasure hunter... You're a mermaid. Just a touch of AI. Yeah, the visuals are AI. The script is read by an AI. Script is probably written by an AI too. With prodding towards using woo concepts.
Always knowing why. In certain coastal regions and African aquatic gateways, early humans stumbled upon inner ocean portals and sanctuaries where priestesses still kept watch. There, reverence grew into trust, and trust sometimes grew into partnership. From these meetings came the earliest stories of sirens, river goddesses, water spirits, and sea brides. Underneath the folklore lies a steady pattern. Powerful aquatic beings chose to share their line with a young, risky species because they saw potential worth defending. They witnessed humanity's flaws and wounds, yet also its rare capacity for sacrifice, loyalty, and renewal. So mermaids joined with humans for reasons that were at once ancient and practical to preserve their lineage after...
Bad idea, mermaids. Humans suck. Do not trust the monkeys, the land monkeys. No. We are the worst. You should have trusted dogs instead, but not had sex with dogs, so that's gross. But you're fish people, so I don't think that would have happened anyway. But you shouldn't have messed with people. Yeah, just a touch of AI.
Catastrophe to create living bridges between realms, to anchor and heal a wounded planet, to fulfill a prophecy woven through the 7 thrones, and to walk beside a species that, against all odds, might one day help restore balance. Human mermaid hybrids emerged through carefully guarded unions. When a priestess assumed a land-bound form, she could conceive with humans who demonstrated reverence for water and carried balanced emotional temperaments.
So if you really like water and you're emotionally balanced, you too could bang a mermaid. Just putting that out there.
These children often appeared entirely human, although they held subtle traits, heightened empathy, unusual dream states, intuitive understanding of tides, and an uncanny ability to calm conflict. In rare cases, hybrids inherited aquatic gifts, such as extended breath-holding, rapid healing, bioluminescent markings that appeared during childhood, or spontaneous shifts in body.
Do I have bioluminescent markings on me anywhere? Have you all ever seen me with bioluminescent markings maybe someplace I couldn't see? I can hold my breath pretty decently, but not like exceptionally long. Bree, have you seen the Australian mermaid show Tidelands? No, I have not.
Density when submerged. Their purpose was to bridge land and sea, grounding the ancient covenant in human lineage and ensuring the priestess line would influence future civilizations without direct intervention. So it is essential to understand through this that there are many humans who can be mermaid hybrids or share this Atlantean water lineage. Mermen exist as the natural masculine counterpart to the Atlantean mermaid priestesses, shaped by the same ancient forces that molded the aquatic daughters of Tiamatin and Merida.
So if you're like into dudes, you can have a mer-dude too, is what they're saying.
Their bodies carry the
just say that you really like water and be emotionally balanced. I'm not emotionally balanced enough to snag a mermaid, unfortunately. But maybe some of you all are. Tell me about it in the comments down below.
Print of Dragon Lord ancestry, Syrian deep ocean genetics, and the primordial waters that once circled old Atlantis. They move with a strength that flows rather than clashes, built for the shifting pressures of the deep. Their tails are broader and more muscular, sculpted for torque in abyssal currents, and
someone has picked lobster tail. Delicious, yummy lobster tail. 7%. So just one person did it. Which one of you is my delicious lobster? Which one of you is getting dipped in butter?
bioluminescent patterns glow faintly along their scales, tracing the lineage of Syrian deep divers. Their eyes remain wide, silvered or indigo, crafted for darkness where sunlight never reaches. A tall dorsal ridge runs down their backs, acting as a living sensor that can read energy fields and
deep sea mermaids
detect distortions in dimensional currents. These beings once served as guardians of the submerged Atlantean realms, the protectors of crystal archives and ancient trench gates that still pulse with lost technology.
They have butt cheeks just like you and me, look. This one has scalloping, but also has the cheeks.
Where the priestesses hold the emotional harmonics of the oceans, the mermen secure the structural resonance that keeps the Atlantean remnants stable. They navigate drowned cities, moving through corridors of coral-encrusted stone and forgotten halls where Atlantean symbols still hum gently under sediment. They accompany
John Cena one. He's got like a mohawk. I'm just looking at these designs. Like this one's scaly, but this one's smooth. This one's bioluminescent too. I can see the light up stuff. Is this a couple though? Because this could be a mer-twink.
The priestesses in rites, ceremonies, and the maintenance of the lattice once upheld by the 7 dragon queens. Some patrol deep rift valleys.
7 dragon queens, something about a sapphire treasure, or sapphire. I don't remember. Holy crap, there's been a lot thrown at me.
Ensuring that portals remain sealed or balanced, while others act as scouts, keeping watch over migratory paths of whales, leviathans, and other sentient marine beings. Their culture thrives quietly, woven through brotherhoods who pass down memory through song and water-carried vibrations instead of written text. They are patient.
I caught a mermaid. It's not true they get legs when they dry off. Good deep fried with tartar sauce, though. Oh, yum. I love a good fish fry. That one looks like a seahorse. Oh, we could have done seahorse tail too instead of lobster tail. So we can grab onto stuff. Seahorses don't swim with their tails though. They hang on with their tails. They swim with their little back fin. Isn't that crazy? I know, that's what I'm saying. I didn't, because I just threw lobster tail on there because I couldn't think of a third or a fourth type of tail off the top of my head, and now I'm hearing seahorse, and I'm like, yes, that was the right answer.
Resilient and bound by a covenant of protection older than any surface civilization. Though rarely seen by humans, they remain near the continental shelves, lingering at the thresholds where the world once knew them. Their presence offers a steady
That's why you don't see the boys, because they're all down by the shelf, by the trenches. Guarding the portals to other parts of the universe.
Reminder that the Atlantean story never ended. It simply moved deeper, waiting for the right age to rise again. A deeper relationship unfolded through the Nibiruan prince and scientist Enki, Lord of the Abzu. He understood that water carried ancestral memory and spiritual...
Enki, Lord of the Abzu. You all know Enki, right? Actually, I think I saw something on on their main page about Inky. Was that? I think I saw it. Yeah, Inky right there. He's one of the blue people. Inky the Blue.
Actual inheritance. His alliance with the priestesses established the aquatic kingdom on Earth, a vast layered realm beneath and beyond the physical oceans that any one human can possibly reach. The kingdom is deeper than Agartha inner realms. In this kingdom, under the earth,
yes, Kristen called it. There's Agartha. You called it, babe. You saw it coming.
Cities shaped from living light, crystal sanctuaries, tide chambers aligned with star cycles, and deep trenches that held the memory of Tia Martin became the hidden heart of this kingdom. Enki raised
Tia Martin. I think it was supposed to be Tiamat, wasn't it? Tiamat's like the ancient primordial serpent from like Sumer. Sumer, right? Or is it Assyria?
On the land as reflections of his hidden halls beneath the waters and the earth, then linked them through tunnels and cavern passages that opened into the so-called underworld. In later legends, this realm was described as a hell for the dead. In reality, it is the drowned remnant of Atlantean kingdoms, an underwater domain where mermaid priestesses, Syrian lineages, and other aquatic beings still travel and dwell. The ancient serpent queen Tiamat stands at the root of every higher aquatic lineage. She is the founding dragon queen of this planet, bearer of the sapphire throne, and mother of the Atlantic.
Tiamat is the bearer of the sapphire throne and the queen of dragons. So now we have that squared away.
Aquatic daughters who become mermaid priestesses, sirens, inner earth gatekeepers, and other hybrid water beings.
Miranda, imagine if your mom was a mermaid. Yeah. And your dad was like a centaur. Or not a centaur, but a minotaur. And so you're just like a guy.
Multidimensional, and her daughters inherit realm-shifting bodies, bioluminescent DNA, and the capacity.
Yeah, Dagon's supposed to be the god down here. What the hell? Tiamat, scoot over. You're just supposed to be a big serpent monster. The god here is Dagon.
To steady emotional fields on a planetary scale. The popular Disney film Little Mermaid uses many Anunnaki archetypes, and the connections can be seen even through characters such as Ariel, a character who serves as a faint cultural echo of these ancient daughter humanoid hybrids, a young mermaid drawn toward the surface, driven by curiosity and a longing to cross realms. In this framework, that pull toward the human world reflects their original mandate to observe surface civilizations, choose alliances with discernment, and monitor whether Earth's emotional field is rising or collapsing. Alongside Tiamat stands Merida, the second serpent queen of Atlantis. Merida weaves in shape-shifting...
Merida is the little Scottish girl with the Disney princess with the bow. So two redheaded Disney princesses are in cahoots. It sounds like with Inky, the Anunnaki, and something about the Tiamat, the dragon queen, and her sapphire throne. Are we all on the same page?
Multi-fin tail variations, adaptive biologies, and the psychic resonance that later appears in stories as the siren voice. She embodies the principle of survivability through flexibility. Her daughters endure cataclysms, the fall of Atlantis, migrations into inner Earth oceans, and the Great Flood. Ariel's iconic red hair can be read as a symbol of Merida's firewater gene, a trait reserved for high priestesses whose emotions can open or
oh my.
Seal dimensional currents. Enki, the Sumerian water god and ancient alien prince, can be remembered by later cultures as Poseidon, the mythical god who presides over the waters.
Enki is Poseidon, guys. Okay. It's all coming together now. Keep up.
And the genetic arts. Enki does not originate the mermaid lineages that belongs to Tiamat and Merida. He instead becomes their guardian and patron as Lord.
But Enki Poseidon is the guardian. He's not the progenitor that was Tiamat and Firewater, Merida. Yeah.
Of waters, he oversees safe sea routes, current systems, and underwater cities, and acts as mediator between land civilizations and water civilizations. The mermaid priestesses see him as a teacher and ally who grants them authority regarding contact with surface dwellers. King Triton in The Little Mermaid reflects this role, a paternal sea ruler echoing the older memory of Enki Poseidon protecting a mermaid daughter who longs to cross realm boundaries. Long ago, Ereshkigal, a Nibiruan princess of either Anu or Enlil, once ruled the underworld in a way that aligns far more with deep water than with fire. Her domain includes abyssal trenches, salt underseas beneath the
Persephone was a mermaid too then. That's what I'm picking up from what you're laying down. Persephone was a mermaid.
Crust, hidden currents flowing through inner earth, and the shadow side of Atlantis where drowned temples and cities linger outside surface history. As queen of these regions and wife of Nergal,
Gingers of the world unite, says Trusty Abe. Yeah, with Merida and Ariel, the Little Mermaid. My mom was redheaded. I don't know if she was a mermaid though. Gingers need to stick together. It's because of the frosting, as I understand it.
She stands at the junction of pressure and heat, with portals opening at volcanic zones and tectonic scars along the ocean floor. Mermaids stationed there serve as gatekeepers of death waters and custodians of those who pass through drowning, while Siren orders tend to the psychic residue and memory of these souls. Ereshkigal commands respect from even...
I like that name, Ereshkigal, though. Now Nergal is involved. Yeah, Nergal.
Tiamat's maiden daughters. She is a sovereign of thresholds and sealed archives rather than a caricatured sea witch. Ursula from The Little Mermaid bends...
I love these ones. Oh, they got big old titties, but they got like full-on fish faces.
this figure into a distorted reflection, merging the idea of underworld contract law with the fear of the deep, even though the original presence is regal and exacting. When all of these connections are concluded, the structure becomes clear.
Is Merida the sea witch?
Tiamat is the primordial mother of mermaid priestesses and all high aquatic lineages. Merida, as second serpent queen, introduces adaptability, shapeshifting, and siren-level vocal and emotional power. Enki, as Poseidon, steps in as protector, teacher, and mediator, giving the mermaid orders safer passage and political standing.
So we got a pantheon of 2 women and a dude. No Dagon. No Dagon, Jason. We've been denied. We've denied the mighty Cthulhu too, and he lives underneath the waves.
In relation to surface civilizations, it is sometimes believed that Enki Ereshkigal governs the drowned and forgotten Atlantean layers, the underworld seas, and the deep gate mermaids who work with her in those trenches. The Little Mermaid story carries a softened, child-safe echo of this far older architecture, with Ariel standing in for a daughter of Tiamat and Merida, Triton echoing...
It's kind of because they keep talking about Little Mermaid like it's a Disney thing, and the stuff, the way the story is presented by Disney is like the folklore, but there's it's the Hans Christian Andersen story is a lot deeper into the character, like if you apparently she mutilates herself and stuff to try to make legs and things like that. It's really dark, which is, you know, true that Disney softened it, but like characters like Ursula, the octopus-legged sea witch, I don't believe was part of the original folklore. I think that if there was a sea witch, that she was not like a underwater sea witch. Hold on, let's look it up, because I don't want to speak out of my ass. But I remember reading it when I was a kid, and I don't remember there being a sea witch. Yes, Hans Christian Andersen's original Little Mermaid featured a powerful, sinister sea witch that makes a deal. Okay, but wasn't she on like an island though? She wasn't like a mer person too. Yeah, she lives in a house made of bones of drowned sailors.
Keep Poseidon, and Ursula echoing a misunderstood shadow of Ereshkigal's authority.
I was
The
wrong.
mermaid lineages have continued through the ages. Some have resided in deep trenches, others in dimensional oceans linked to Zelanthia, others near coastal regions where sacred springs marked old agreements between land and sea. Their influence has persisted in quiet ways, the sudden calm of a storm, the healing presence felt near certain rivers, the dreams of underwater temples reported by children who had never seen the ocean. Hybrids or hubrids who live on Earth, scattered across generations, often...
You might be a hybrid, but you might be a hubrid. What's a hubrid? I've never heard that term before. Hybrid and hubrid. No, hybrid and hubrid. Don't fix it. Hubrid is not a recognized English word. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Drawn to water without understanding why. Their lives formed part of a larger pattern, slowly preparing humanity for a time when the ancient covenant might rise again. Mermaids, in truth, are real. They are simply stepped aside like most extraterrestrials, waiting in hidden sanctuaries as human civilizations pass through ages of forgetting. Their patience is an echo of the cosmic waters from which they were born, steady and enduring. And as humanity approaches an era of renewed awareness, rediscovering the consciousness of oceans, the language of whales, and the spiritual...
Look at that thick-ass mermaid booty right there. Why she need that? You think that she'd have a more... Well, was she on land, too? That's kind of weird, but, like... With the way a fishtail would would be utilized, I don't think mermaids would need that
significance of water, the question rises quietly into the collective mind. If the daughters of Tiamat and Merida still keep watch beneath the waves, will humanity ever step forward in wisdom, humility, and reverence enough to meet them, greet them, and finally acknowledge that this ancient species has been here from the beginning? Across the continent, water deities like mermaids...
That's more like what I like, though, when they have mermaids look like this. They shouldn't look like human-ish. I mean, they should have humanoid shape, but like they shouldn't like look like people from the waist up. My personal opinion, like, there's no reason why an aquatic organism would evolve hair that way. Like, even I think the only aquatic animals I can think of that have fur are like sea otters, and they've evolved to like bob and float in the water.
Are not passive symbols. They are living echoes of the Atlantean priestess descended from Tiamat and Merida, serpent queens of this planet. In West and Central Africa, the traditions surrounding Mamiwata carry the clearest signature.
Why do
a radiant water being
knees?
part...
Perfect question. Why do they have knees? That's weird. They shouldn't have knees.
Human, part aquatic, part celestial, who brings healing, prophecy, and emotional balance. Her presence mirrors the Suncrest caste, those who shine with Merida's light and intervene when communities need purification or realignment. The Yoruba Orisa Yamaya, Mother of Oceans, aligns with the Tide Weavers, the priestesses who command currents and protect coastal regions through harmonic influence. Yamaya's nurturing power and her ability to soothe emotional storms reflect the mermaid orders that stabilized human settlements long before written history. Further north, among the Berber and Mediterranean...
So... I don't think we're going to get through all of this. It's still got 10 minutes left. And I think I'm going to probably wrap it up, wrap the Cryptic Corner up here pretty quick. But I was hoping to get more into their relationship with the other alien races. We got dragons and stuff, which is cool. But I want to know how, like, do the Lyrans, since they're cat people, do they stick their paw in the water to try to get the mermaids out?
Linked peoples, legends of Melusine and other water maidens echo the same lineage, filtered through cultural memory after migrations and ancient contact with coastal priestesses. Even the Nile traditions, especially those tied to Anuket, Sobek, and the sacred inundation, carry remnants of Enki's aquatic kingdom and its mirrored temples.
The sacred inundation, is that the biblical flood? Is that the mermaids? The biblical flood must have been like, yeah, woo.
Land. These African water spirits are not isolated folklore. This is the surface translations of direct interactions between humans and mermaid priestesses. In the old Babylonian era, cylinder seals like this one from the British Museum show what may be the earliest images of beings we would recognize as merfolk. These ancient carvings may connect to some of the oldest creations.
Dagon too, but you're not giving him on any kind of credit. I like this lizard dude though. He looks friendly. Looks kind of sad too.
Myths known to humanity, tales of forgotten gods locked in struggle against a backdrop of cosmic chaos and upheaval. On the surface, stories such as these, paired with images of men wrapped in the skin of a great fish, seem to echo our species' own development, our rise into civilization and mastery of the earth, while remaining deeply tied to nature's waters. Narratives of this kind appear throughout early history. One in particular is often seen as the root of the familiar mermaid image we know today. This tale, likely continuing earlier mythic threads, tells of a goddess known as Atagatis, or Deserto.
Oh, we got a new goddess, you guys. Atagatis, or Deserto. She has two names, too, so if you're taking notes.
After the accidental death of her husband, a shepherd named Hadad, with whom she had a daughter, the grief-stricken goddess cast herself into a lake. As she sank beneath the water, she transformed into a hybrid being, half woman, half fish. Surviving depictions of her look strikingly close to the classical mermaid form. Shrines devoted to her cult often included ponds filled with sacred fish that could never be eaten. Through generations of veneration, this deeply feminine deity became emblematic of fertility, love, and the living power of the waters. The ancient Greeks came to know Atagatis as Aphrodite Decerto, and from this point, the folklore around sea maidens began to flourish. If you follow the trail backward, you find some of the
sea maidens. An otter goddess. I would love an otter goddess that floats on her back in the water. Yeah, let's make that a thing. Did the native people in the Pacific Northwest have an otter god?
The oldest images in Mesopotamia, carved seals showing fish-cloaked figures, half human, half marine. To most scholars, they are symbols of civilization emerging from the waters. Through the lens of the mermaid priestesses, they read more like fractured recollections of an earlier order, Atlantean and pre-Atlantean lineages who served as aquatic priestesses, moving between surface cities and deep ocean sanctuaries. When the Greeks inherited these currents of myth, they gave them new names. The Nereids, sea nymphs, radiant and kind, were described as daughters of the old man of the sea and an ocean goddess. They sang, danced on the waves, and guided.
Jack Sparrow makes an appearance. You can tell because of his beads.
Sailors through danger. Behind their delicate descriptions sits the profile of an Atlantean mermaid order, priestesses trained to navigate currents, soothe storms, and escort ships along ley-lined sea routes that connected surface ports with submerged star temples. Over time, the mermaid's image split. On one side, she remained a healer, an oracle of the tides, a guardian of fertility and safe passage. On the other, she took on the sharper edge of the siren, keeper of thresholds, tester of hearts, luring those who approach the sea with greed or disrespect. For your mermaid priestesses, this duality is the key. They are not passive decorations of the deep. They are the last living echoes of Atlantean temple orders, holding memory, guarding portals, and deciding who is worthy to cross the boundary between the human.
Are you worthy? Are you a hybrid worthy of crossing the boundary? With whom did they say the Anunnaki was paired? I must have missed it. To be honest, I've been trying to let it get through as much as it can.
This duality is the key. They are not passive decorations of the deep. They are the last living echoes of Atlantean temple orders, holding memory, guarding portals, and deciding who is worthy to cross the boundary between the human world and the true kingdoms beneath the waves. When stories like these are told, they often stay safely in the realm of poetry, beautiful names, shining daughters of the sea, warnings dressed up as song. Yet coastlines have always had another kind of archive, one kept outside temples and libraries. The witness account. The fisherman who came home pale and quiet. The deckhand who swore he saw a woman's face rise between swells. The harbour towns that repeated the same description for
Periodolia.
Generations, even after the people who first said it were long gone. That is where the mermaid legend stops being only inherited myth and becomes something else, reported encounter. The same themes the Greeks preserved in the
oral tradition.
divine language begin to appear in plain human detail. A figure on a rock, hair moving like kelp, a head and shoulders breaking the surface, a sound that did not match any bird, a sudden...
These aren't your grandma's Anunnaki demon outcasts. These are ancient alien super celestial Anunnaki. Have you done Selkies yet? I have not done Selkies yet. I should. I should do them though. I do like Selkies. I like the Selkie lore.
And disappearance that left the water calm again. In those moments, the Nereid and the Siren feel less like separate characters and more like two masks for the same order. One offered to protect, one used.
Ooh, here we go. Aunt Jer's got something on the sea otters in the Pacific Northwest. The Pacific Northwest prominent otter figure isn't a single god, but a legendary Kushtaka, land otter man from the Tlingit and Tsamitian lore, a mischief shape-shifting spirit that's either a malicious deceiver luring victims to their death or a helpful guide saving people from freezing, often appearing as a human-sized otter or otter-like man, embodying the duality, while other cultures see otters as a symbol of play, luck, or connection to the spirit world. Thank you, Aunt Jer.
Pest. From here, we should shift our focus what people claimed to have seen. Names, dates, locations, testimonies recorded in journals, letters, ship logs, and local reports. Not because every story proves a mermaid exists.
Well, we might get through this,
rather because these accounts reveal a consistent thread running under the phenomenon. A pattern repeats across centuries. The witness is usually close to the water, often tired, often at dusk, often looking at a moving shape that appears human for a moment. The account then spreads outward. One person tells a few friends, a harbor tells a town tells a newspaper, and soon the story becomes part of a place's identity. Some reports
of manatees all along. You know, there's manatees that used to live in the Mediterranean. The West African manatee used to go up that high, up that far north. All manatees, mermaids are manatees all the way down.
Likely roots in misidentified animals. Some reports come from hoaxes designed to sell tickets. Some remain unresolved stories that people kept repeating because they felt true. Their presence continues quietly. They are not myth. They are not gone. They are simply veiled.
What are these? Is this their tails, or does their hair have a tail? What's going on here? What is that?
Until then, they remain beneath the waves, tending a covenant older than any human civilization. A covenant of
were manatee. Yeah, I could have put manatee tails on the poll. I guess I can end the poll now. Show you all how it turned out.
Life, memory, and the eternal rhythm of the deep. And you, if they surface tomorrow, song quiet and eyes steady, would you recognize them? Is humanity ready to accept mermaids or yet alone alien civilizations? Could there really be an aquatic kingdom deeper than inner Earth? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Astral Legends, Infinity Legacy, and History Legends TV for more.
I did not like this video. I was disappointed. I wanted to know if they were going to fight with the Draconians or if they were going to go to war with the Lyrans. How do the fish people and the bird people get along? Let me know. All right, so that was our Starseed mermaids. Now, I personally am convinced now that I am a Starseed mermaid. I think that that's just the way that this video has directed my thinking. Before, I thought maybe I was a Lyran Starseed with wow, wow. But now, I think I'm a little mermaid. What are you? Are you a mermaid? Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.